It is really incredible to look back to see where we came from. In 2008, when we started off on this venture, BokSmart was just a vision. I still remember our very first roadshow to the 14 provincial rugby unions to promote the idea of BokSmart and the program's pending arrival. It was also a year where we gathered very important information and relevant information to plan the road ahead. Everyone at the time was thinking this will never even get off the ground, and if it does, it will no doubt disappear after a very short while. Many of these initial skeptics are now champions of the program in their rugby provinces. Since then, it has grown in leaps and bounds, has worked its way into South African rugby structures, and has become an important part of the modern game in South Africa. Without the backing and support of the hundreds of BokSmart trainers, the 14 provincial union BokSmart coordinators, the CEOs, medical managers, SORI top management, and all of the coaches, referees and medical staff around the country doing their parts, the program would never have been able to gain any traction or have any impact on the ground. We expected to only start having effect some 6 to 10 years down the line, once the program had become entrenched in the national rugby landscape. Due to the increased awareness of the program and improved injury reporting systems, we in fact expected an initial increase in the number of these kinds of injuries over the first 5 to 6 years of the program rollout. Implementing anything new and trying to change people's behavior, especially on a national scale, takes time. However, there has already been a significant reduction over the last 4 years in serious and catastrophic head, neck and spine rugby injuries in South Africa. Most of this decrease in injuries has been at schoolboy level. This is largely due to the hard work that the school coaches and referees attending these courses have put in to make this wonderful game of rugby safer for all. You are indeed the unsung heroes of the game. The solid rugby foundations and safety principles that you provide at this level will ultimately filter upwards when these players eventually become of age and move into the club and elite rugby environments. We can only hope that over time this pattern will continue to improve across the country, as the safety principles and compulsory education that we provide every 2 years to all rugby coaches and referees countrywide will filter down to the players and will eventually become second nature on the field on match days when it counts the most. The more you practice and train safe technique, the more instinctive this becomes. And even in the most pressurized of situations, the chances of your players getting it right on the day are drastically improved, even if they do not follow all the rules. We are currently busy with the development of the 4th BokSmart training DVD, which will be rolled out to all the provinces in the latter part of 2015. To date, roughly 55,000 coaches and referees have been trained on the program, with some of them currently undergoing their 3rd cycle of BokSmart training. A few of the highlights for me since we started the process are the following, and there have been many. BokSmart has contributed to 3 game-changing regulations within South Africa: the rugby safety regulations, the underage regulations for adult rugby, and school age banning regulations. The SORI amateur scrum laws have contributed substantially to making the scrum safer in school and club rugby, and similar changes have since then also been applied to the professional game. Since the introduction of these laws, not a single catastrophic scrum injury has been recorded due to impact on engagement. We have contributed extensively to the sports medicine scientific literature over the last 6 years, with more than 17 publications in peer-reviewed journals and twice being on the cover of the esteemed British Journal of Sports Medicine. We have had a notable presence at both local and international high-profile sports medicine conferences, such as the IOC World Conference on Prevention of Injury and Illness in Sport, and the American College of Sports Medicine and South African Sports Medicine Association conferences. BokSmart, other than having some of its research findings presented at these conferences, was frequently mentioned and acknowledged by some of the world's leading experts in sports medicine. We recently launched a novel and exciting injury prevention initiative called the BokSmart Safe 6, which we will be building on over the next few years. SORI has been extremely proactive in addressing the worldwide concussion crisis by including concussion education in all of the BokSmart rugby safety courses and materials since the program started. We have a very strong research relationship with the University of Cape Town's Exercise Science and Sports Medicine Department, in collaboration with world-leading experts in sports injury prevention research from the Vrije Universiteit in Amsterdam. We also have a unique relationship with ER24, who operates a national toll-free emergency rugby hotline called the BokSmart Spyline number, which is 0800 678 678, where those players who sustain a potentially serious head, neck or spine rugby injury during a practice or match can access medical advice, stabilization and transport to the nearest appropriate hospital. One final thing I have to mention is the amazing support of this program by our Springbok and Blitzbokke staff and teams. They have always given freely of their time to not only share their expertise, but to also put their names and backing behind the program. I am a proud supporter of BokSmart and what we are trying to do to prevent catastrophic head, neck and spine rugby injuries. Thank you for joining us with our common goal of playing smarter, safer rugby. Together, we can further reduce the number of serious injuries and also encourage more future Springboks to pick up the oval ball instead of the other one.